All right, we are live with another one, man. Hopefully, everybody is having a great start to your week. Okay, a great Monday. All right, hopefully Tuesday is better. By the time it's hump day, you're kicking the week's ass. You feel me? But guys, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Okay, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Okay, but let's talk about this, guys. I started a big debate here. Okay, of who would win, who would win in a mixed martial arts fight? Would it be Francis Ngannou, John Jones, or Tom Aspinall? If those three walked into a room, who would walk out successfully? Okay? That is the big debate. I mean, there has been a recent interview with Tom Aspinall. And, he said some remarks talking about how, that Francis Ngannou is a great athlete, but unfortunately, he's not fighting top level competition, so he can't. He can't be the best, right? And when I saw that interview, I started kind of laughing because then the remarks after that statement from Tom Aspinall was that the UFC has the best heavyweights right now, guys. After I heard that, I started laughing even more. I'm just being real. I started laughing nonstop because, guys, Curtis Blades is in your top 5, okay? Derek Lewis is number 9. Imagine that, number 1. Derek Lewis is number 9. Teo Tavasa is number 10. I mean, God. This heavyweight division is in shambles. The UFC heavyweight division is in shambles. I don't understand how Tom Aspinall in his right mind would actually think that that statement right there is credible. I just don't. I don't see how. I don't see how. I don't see why. And I wanted an explanation. I did, so I commented on that interview, and it started a feud. Okay, it started a feud. There was a lot of, people out there commenting on my comment that I made. It's just, I think there's a lot of incest going on out there. I really do. We have to, we have to take control of this, because there's just so many retards out there. All right, and I'm sorry to say it like that, man, but there's just so many retards out there that just they speak freely, man. They speak freely, and they speak without thinking. Okay, they speak without thinking, and they attacked me on the comments talking about that the UFC always have had the best athletes, always have had the best mixed martial artists. They attacked me on all angles, guys. Okay, these degenerates. You know what I mean? They just they literally just attacked me, man. You know what I mean? And I had to sit back and wait a little bit. You know what I mean? And see if any of their remarks, any of their comments would actually make sense in my head. I try to put myself in their shoes and see it from their perspective, right? But unfortunately, the shoes don't fit. And unfortunately, I cannot see the perspective of a retard, of a person who, is out here doing incest. I just can't. I can't put myself in the perspective of a degenerate. I just can't, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hi, guys. How you doing? Okay? It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. But, they attacked me on all angles because I honestly think, okay? I honestly don't think, okay? I honestly know. If Francis Ngannou, all right? If Francis Ngannou, heavyweight, okay, of the PFL, heavyweight champion of a PFL, and former heavyweight champion of the UFC, okay? How you doing, man? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good one, guys. Hopefully you're having a blessed one. Good start to your week, okay? Like I said, you know, hopefully you kicked, Monday's ass, and you're ready for Tuesday. But I honestly know for a fact if Francis Ngannou came back to the UFC, he would walk right into championship contention, okay? He would demolish top 5 of your heavyweights, okay? Let's just be honest. Number two heavyweight in the UFC right now is Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, last I checked, lost against Francis Ngannou. And that's the number 2 ranked guy in the heavyweight division right now. And you're telling me right now, if Francis Ngannou walked into the UFC, he won't walk into championship contention? That's just, I don't. That's why I couldn't understand it. That's why I was just like, why are you guys attacking me? I mean, does my statement not make sense? I mean, he beat Ciryl Gane decisively, okay, and he beat him with a torn ACL. His knee was blown out. So, and that wasn't the Francis Ngannou that we see today. That's not the Francis Ngannou that's has better wrestling and better takedown wrestling. Defensive wrestling. Like, I just don't understand how I was being attacked for making that statement because, like I said, and I need to say it again, Francis Ngannou beat Ciryl Gane. And Ciryl Gane right now, as it stands in the UFC, he's number 2 in the UFC rankings. So you're telling me if Francis Ngannou walked into the UFC right now, he won't beat Ciryl Gane again? That's delusional. Okay? And to actually think, right, that Francis Ngannou won't beat Tom Aspinall? Guys, I need a drink. I need a drink after that. Guys, let's get this clear. Francis Ngannou would destroy Tom Aspinall. In my opinion, Tom Aspinall doesn't stand a chance. He just doesn't, okay? There's been multiple times where he's been caught on the chin and, a little bit wobbled, okay? And for that reason, man, I don't see how Tom Aspinall beats a Francis Ngannou. A Francis Ngannou who has better wrestling defense, okay? A Francis Ngannou who has better wrestling in general, and a Francis Ngannou that has real heavyweight power. He has real heavyweight power. He has the power to knock your head into the 3rd row. And I was being attacked because I said my statement. Said, like I said, if Francis Ngannou, Tom Aspinall, and Jon Jones walked into a room, who would come out successful? I like Jon Jones. I like Francis Ngannou. Tom Aspinall, look, he's a good athlete. Okay, he's a good athlete. But to say that Tom Aspinall can actually compete at that level, I don't think so, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. A guy walking around with a duck in his pocket? Guys, like, let's get real, man. Let's get real, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. And, when it comes to Jon Jones didn't take the fight with Francis Ngannou. I think that's for a reason. Okay, because Francis Ngannou wanted that fight. He wanted that fight. How you doing, man? He wanted that fight. He wanted to fight Jon Jones. He was in negotiations with the UFC, to get that fight under contract, guaranteed. But unfortunately, it didn't come together because from Francis Ngannou's side, the UFC and Jon Jones were playing games. And now the UFC, They have a bad taste in their mouth because Francis Ngannou left the UFC, got a better contract with another organization. He got the opportunity to do both mixed martial arts and boxing. He got an opportunity to, make his pockets just that more healthier. How are you going to hate a man for getting a better contract and getting more rich and more wealthy and having more opportunities? To me, that's a hater. And over here, we don't condone hating, okay? We don't worry about what other people do, all right? We don't worry about what other people do. We definitely don't comment on what other men are doing and how other men dress and how they look and what they're doing and what business they're conducting, all right? That's just, if you're doing that, all right, if you're worrying about stuff like that, you're not a man, all right? So we don't condone that. We don't condone that. Get another drink here. But the topic of discussion, guys, is I think Francis Ngannou can beat all of your top 5 UFC heavyweights right now as it stands. Right now as it stands. If Francis Ngannou got the opportunity to fight Tom Aspinall, he knocks out Tom Aspinall in 1 round. In 1 round. Okay? And not only that, after just dismantling Tom Aspinall, I think Jon Jones wouldn't want to fight Francis Ngannou. That is just the truth. That is just the truth. The last thing Jon Jones wants is to become a highlight reel on somebody else's expense. Okay? That's the truth. All right, that's the last thing Jon Jones wants. He does not want to end up like Alistair Overeem with just the most vicious highlight reel of all time. Okay? That is just the truth. So, for everybody, on the YouTube channel who has a YouTube channel who was commenting and they attacked me, they attacked me badly, man. These guys got butthurt, man. You know what I mean? They called me a casual. How are you gonna call me a casual, man? How are you gonna say how? That's why I said, there must be a lot of incest going on out there because you have to be a retard to say this. One of these YouTubers actually commented and said, the UFC has better heavyweights, the best heavyweights, in the world. The UFC has the best fighters in the world, and they always have had the best fighters in the world. And in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. You calling me a casual and you coming out with that type of statement out of your mouth? You must be doing incest and you must be a retard for saying something like that and it coming out of your mouth. Because in my opinion, guys, let me give you a little bit of facts, okay? I'm going to give you facts, all right? The UFC is a great organization, okay? They lack a lot of things, all right? They lack a lot of things. But they're a great organization. They're doing it a lot better than what a lot of other organizations are doing. They're doing it a lot better. They're at a whole nother level, on their own level, basically, okay? But let's talk about this really fast, all right? We cannot say that the UFC always had the best athletes of all time. We cannot say that. We can't. Let me remind you guys, okay? The UFC bought out WEC, all right? And when they bought out WEC, most of those guys who came from WEC, they became contenders or champions, all right? Let me give you a little bit of history. We're talking Dominic Cruz, champion. Uriah Faber, huge contender, very popular. Okay? Carlos Condit, champion, huge contender. Jose Aldo, champion, huge contender. That's just to name a few guys. And that's just one organization that they had bought out and absorbed to get top-level athletes into the UFC. You understand that? And all right. Let's move on from the WEC now, right? That's just one organization that they absorbed, right? Let's talk about Pride. Is everybody forgetting about Pride? The UFC bought out and absorbed Pride so they can get top level competition into the UFC. All right, let's not forget Chuck Liddell was on a huge tear. I want to say he was on a 7 to 8 winning. He was on a 7 to 8, winning streak with his title. When he was on his light heavyweight run and he was knocking out everybody, he didn't lose for like 7 to 8 fights. And what did the UFC do? They bought out Pride, absorbed their athletes, and what happened? Rampage Jackson is what happened. Rampage Jackson came into the UFC from Pride and knocked out the king of all kings at that time. Does that say the UFC has the best athletes? Does that mean the UFC has always had the best athletes? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, no. And we're not even talking about all the organizations like Strikeforce, okay? Another organization that they bought out and absorbed to get top-level competition into the UFC. Like, and they call me a casual. And they call me a casual. It's just, these degenerates. These degenerates need to stop doing incest. Stop fucking your cousins, guys. Okay? This shit is bad for you. All right? You fuck your cousins, you have babies, and your babies come out with fucking 10,000 toes. You know what I mean? 4 ears. Come out with, an extra nipple on the belly button area. Like, stop the bullshit here. All right? Let me read your comment real quick. Oh, God. Pride FC was better than the UFC back then. My point exactly. Definitely was. I agree with you. And they couldn't get Fader. No, they couldn't get Fader because Fader was a good businessman. Most likely, the numbers that the UFC was talking was, crumb cake. Fucking crumbs. Bro, can you please tell my name is Alexander. My sister is a big fan of you. Want to make her jealous so please tell my name. What? I don't know about that, sir, but I don't know what your name is. I have no idea what your name is, but hopefully you're blessed. Hopefully you're doing good. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, okay? But let's continue, guys. I mean, to think that the UFC has always had the best athletes out of all the other organizations. I mean, you're a casual. You're a degenerate. You're fucking your cousins. Stop the incest. It's insane to me, man. How you doing, Alexander? Hopefully you're having a good one, Alexander. You know what I mean? Bless you, Alexander, and your family, Alexander. All right? I'm going to get another drink here. Cheers to you, Alexander. But, yeah, man, I just don't understand it, man. There's a lot of people out there that they're calling, real people who've been watching the UFC and watching mixed martial arts in general for a very, very long time. You guys are calling, those guys casuals. I mean, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with the fan base out there. I really don't. The UFC, they don't want to pay their fighters. That's just the truth, man. They don't want to pay their fighters. That's why Francis Ngannou, ended up getting the boot. He ended up leaving. He left the organization, gave him their belt, and said, "Here, bye." Because they were probably, trying to, give him crumb cakes. Give him crumb cakes, man. There's a lot of athletes out there, that they're mixed martial arts fighters, and they still have to, you know, they still have to hold a full-time job while under contract with the UFC. It doesn't make sense, guys. There's no other organization or any other sport in general that does that. Do you see a baseball player in MLB? Right, I would laugh if I ever saw a Yankee baseball player, working at a bodega, making sandwiches, ham and cheese. You know what I mean? Like, that's unheard of. There's no baseball player in MLB right now working another full-time job besides playing baseball. It's unheard of, guys. There's no NFL player out there right now. Not even the lowest paid, NFL player right now who has to play NFL, right? Play football in the NFL and work a full-time job. There's just, guys, it's not happening. It's just not happening. Can you imagine seeing LeBron James or a basketball player in the NBA? In the NBA right now, can you imagine an NBA basketball player playing? You see him on TV on Wednesday, and then by Friday, you walk into a mall and see him selling shirts at your local Finish Line. Guys, it's not happening. It's unheard of. Unheard of. And yet, nobody is pointing the finger at the UFC and laughing at them, because it's laughable at this point. There's not one guy or two guys or three or four. There's a multitude of people out there, all right? Multitude of athletes, mixed martial arts athletes right now that are under contract with the UFC, and they still have to hold a full-time job, guys. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. I look around at the other organizations and I'm like, the UFC is trying to compare themselves to those leagues, to the NBA, to the NHL, to the MLBs. They're trying to compare themselves to those organizations, to those leagues. But if you're going to compare yourself to them, then do right by your athletes, because you're not doing right. You're not doing anything, actually. You're just fattening your pockets on their behalf. And that's just the truth, man. There's so many. There was a fighter recently. I can't remember his name as of right now, but there was a fighter in the UFC right now who he came from kickboxing, had some wicked matches with Alex Pereira in kickboxing. I believe he even beat Alex Pereira. If I'm not mistaken, he actually beat Alex Pereira. And if he didn't beat Alex Pereira, he came close to it. It was a great fight, but I think he did beat him. I think they had maybe 2 to 3 fights, those guys, Alex Pereira and this particular guy that I'm talking about. Well, this guy, he came into the Contender Series. He came to the UFC through the Contender Series, okay? And after the Contender Series and after, getting a fight on that show, he asked for a better contract. He asked for more money because obviously he's established. He's already fought high-level competition in Alex Pereira in kickboxing. And he asked for more money. He wanted a better contract. And you know what the UFC did? You know what the UFC did? They let him walk. Guys, it doesn't happen in other organizations. And yet we're not holding the UFC accountable for this. That's why we're not going to get the best fights in the world. That's why we're not going to get those fights. The UFC will soon turn into boxing, where the fans are like, "Oh my God, why did this fight never happen? Why did this fight never happen?" Well, I'll tell you why the fight is not going to happen: because of money. That's it. In general. That's why. You know what I mean? in general. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. And guys, stop the incest. Okay? There's too many retards out there. There's too many retards out there to continuously do incest. Stop fucking your cousins. Stop this shit. It's disgusting. It's nasty. In biblical terms, you're doing the worst of the worst. Okay? If you out here fucking your cousins and you're doing incest, that is the worst of the worst. Don't think you're going to repent and go to church and just repent and it's all going to go away. Okay? It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. All right? Things like that, you can't come back from. All right? Things like that, you can't come back from. It's disgusting. There's too many retards out here. Stop the incest. Stop the bullshit, okay? Stop it. Man. Well, dude, what the fuck? What I'm saying is, stop fucking your cousins. You're probably one of those, aren't you? You're probably one of those fucking your cousins out here. All right? Stop the nonsense. There's too many retards out here talking without even thinking. All right? Stop it. And I'm not randomly bringing up incest, guys. I'm not randomly bringing that up. I already actually mentioned that earlier because there was a retard on the YouTube that was commenting, and I had commented back that he needs to stop incest. Okay, he must be doing incest because he, only a retard would say what he said. Only a retard would say what he said. So if you're just coming into the channel right now and randomly, commenting, you could just suck my dick, okay? Seriously. Get the fuck off my channel for all I care, all right? Or go suck your mother's dick, all right? Fucking ridiculous out here, man. Too many retards. Too many retards out here, man. Really, honestly, guys. Honestly, but anyways, guys, usually, I'm on here, for short, for not a long time, you know what I mean? But after the 30-minute mark, usually I start talking about other topics besides mixed martial arts and the UFC. And one thing I do want to talk about, besides the UFC and mixed martial arts, is I gotta bring up this game. I got to bring up this game that I'm playing right now called Red Dead Redemption 2. I got to bring this up, man. I have to bring this up. All right, because it's an amazing game, man. I know it's like a 6-year-old game now or 7 years old game. I understand that. All right, I understand. All right, it's an old-ass game. But it's new to me, man. It's new to me, and it's a terrific game, man. Everything about this game is fantastic, man. It's fantastic. I love it. I love everything about it, man. I'm trying to take it as slow as possible. I don't want to rush through anything because I just want to take it all in. It's pause. It's just amazing game, man. It's amazing game. But another thing I want to talk about is my Knicks, man. NBA playoff starts. The Knicks have about 8 more games. 8 more games till the playoffs. Right now they're third ranked in their Eastern Conference, division. And we're the Knicks are looking like they're going to, play the Bucks in the first round. And I'm pretty excited for that, man. I'll be watching. I'll be watching with a keen eye. You know what I mean? I'll be watching. The last time I really felt good about my Knicks was when Carmelo Anthony, Stoudemire, Chandler, all those guys were on the Knicks. I felt really good about those Knicks. Yeah, they weren't as good as I thought they would be. You know what I mean? But right now, man, the team is really good. They built really good. We got to get a little bit more depth. The Knicks have to get a little bit more depth when it comes to the bench area. We probably could pick up another center. But, for the foreseeable future, for the next 3 or 4 years, man, the Knicks are going to be contenders. They're gonna be up there, going into the playoffs, potentially, fighting for their lives, man. But that's the last thing I wanted to bring up. I want to end this with saying I believe if Francis Ngannou walked into the UFC, he beats your top 5 heavyweights right off the bat. Right off the bat. You got Cyril Gane ranked at number 2 in the UFC right now, so I don't see why Francis Ngannou can't walk into the UFC right now, fight, have a rematch with Cyril Gane, knock him out or something like that, or something similar to what the last fight happened, how the last fight went. I mean, Francis Ngannou beat Cyril Gane on one leg. He had Francis Ngannou had a torn ACL and still won that fight, still out wrestled him, still beat him. So I don't see why that's a crazy statement to say. And to say that Tom Aspinall will actually survive against Francis Ngannou, I'm sorry, I'm not delusional. I think Francis Ngannou will knock his head into the 3rd row, and that's just my opinion, guys, okay? But I'm out of here, guys. You guys like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. All right, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. One love. I'm out of here. Y'all